Hello everyone, and welcome to this unboxing video for Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid. This is a miniatures board game based on Power Rangers. This was originally Kickstarted, but this is not the Kickstarter version / order, and nor is this mine. It's my friend's game, and, well, they wanted to get this. We heard good things about it. She's a fan of earlier Power Rangers, which this seems to follow. And she finally bit the bullet and got it. She's actually was tempted to get this before the second Kickstarter was even announced, but wasn't able to get in on the second Kickstarter, and honestly didn't know about the first one. Didn't know about the game, to my knowledge, till it came out for retail. And it's actually not too long after the second Kickstarter. I think a couple months? Yeah, regardless. Let's get to this. What company made this? Oh, this is made by Hasbro and Renegade. And it's the Saban Power Rangers. So I'm guessing this is more based off the American adaptation of the original show, because, yeah, this is based on a Japanese show. And by based on, I mean they blatantly just took the fight scenes and kind of dubbed over them, because nobody's mouth is really moving in most of those. And, you know, and the human side, or non-fighting side, is just filmed separately. So we've got the rule book to begin with. But yeah, if you are a fan of original Power Rangers, or at least the original American Power Rangers, this looks like to be a lot of nostalgia bait, although it looks like it makes a lot of reference to later things, like just in the advertisement that's for the rest of this game, although I find it amusing that the core game is here as well. There seems to be, like, some things I don't recognize. I will also be doing an unboxing video for the Shattered Grid expansion, but that's another video, because she got that as well. So, on top of those two, there's a Winter Catalog 2019. Thank you for not being like FFGs, at least, who are way out of date. And I'm thankful they stopped putting those in. Then we've got what look like 5 boards of Punch-Outs, which I'm surprised they're not wrapped up. And one of them being just a board itself that's already popped out of its thing. Ooh, okay, this is a larger scale than I'm used to, I think, as I see some of the miniatures. Then we've got some Punch-Outs. This makes up the board itself, I believe. Like, there's a bunch of these that surround the actual command station, but we get a bunch of tokens here. Then we've got the command center, another part of the board, and then 2 more parts of the board. And yeah, this looks like it's the American version, because I think Angel Grove might have only been the American version. Could be wrong. Regardless, got some empty plastic bags. Always appreciated. Even though I have, like, a stack of bags, like, right there from various games. I keep them around for various things. Primarily, they're going to be for if I finish getting around to magnetizing Kingdom Death Monster. And this is all just taped as one big giant thing. And yeah, this is definitely a larger scale than I'm used to. Which, if she ever wants me to paint it, although if I'm correct, she'll still want me to paint the Lord of the Rings FFG miniatures game first. And other stuff, like this is probably... And we're back! Sorry about the technical difficulty. I have to go back over all this stuff! Whee! So, in the process of trying to get this tape off, I kind of ended up closing the video. Whoops. Didn't realize till I was done. But, I'm gonna still go back over things. A lot more summarized version. So, the first tray had 12 of each of the versions of the putties. Normal, super, or at least as they refer to them. And as I kept saying, I really don't remember the putties looking like that at all. Then the miniatures, which this game is a much larger scale than anything I'm used to, except like for game pieces, because here's the Red Ranger,
And here's a human figure from War Machine Hordes. Yeah. That's a slightly smaller scale than most of my games, but a lot of them are very close to that. The largest one I'm normally used to is Kingdom Death Monster, which isn't that much larger than the smallest one that I'm used to, except for, like, games that are meant to also play on a larger scale. Like, I don't own Joan of Arc, but that would be an example. But we've got the Red Ranger, the Pink Ranger, the Yellow Ranger, the Blue Ranger, and the Black Ranger. I discovered when I got to the character cards, this is definitely based off the American version. It's not even subtle. And then we got monsters of Rita Revolta, who's not, she's an enemy, but I don't think she's a monster, but then her monsters. And for some reason, her second in command is not included, and that I just found that really odd. The big guy with the golden armor and wings. Oh, and these are crammed in there. Like, I don't even recognize all of these. And if this is based off the American version, like, okay. But then again, this game was all over the place. There's some semi-translucent dice. They're all the same. Then we got the various character cards for the 5 Power Rangers. And yeah, they use the American names. And I also remembered that there's the juice bar, because there's some location cards. And that was definitely an American thing. And also weird. Like, in the context of the show, just weird. Here's this place that's definitely supposed to be an analog to a normal bar, like an alcohol serving bar, but they're high school students. And all trying to be really moral focused kind of stuff. But then we got the Zords and the Megazord, which, if I'm correct, the Megazord itself as a miniature is expansion onto itself. Then we've got character decks. I don't know how these work, but it's definitely each of the Power Rangers has their own deck of cards. Like, they're all color-coded and labeled. And then we've got some location cards, which look to be drawing putties. Again, I don't recognize these versions of putties. Every image for these cards looks like it's right out of a comic book, which I think it's more based off of in terms of the art style, but story-wise, it's definitely the American version. And then some monster cards, one for each of the figures. And then each of the enemies have decks. At least I think they do. Because we've got Bones, Pudgy Pig, Nasty Knight with a K for nasty, KN, Madam Woe, and Rita Repulsa. And then the Super Putties and Normal Putties also have their own decks as a group. But yeah, it's various artwork that looks like it's out of a comic book. And there was a comic book for this as well. I've been tempted to go back and watch the Japanese version, but it's just like, that might make my head hurt too much. And it's just like, yeah. And I never want to go back and watch the American version. I'm not really a big fan of shows that push morals and lessons upon you, especially overtly. But regardless, that's just an opinion piece. I was a big fan of it when I was a kid, around the time when it was actually coming out. In fact, I think I still have a lot of the toys buried away of, like, the Zords and such, including the full set combination of first generation and a good chunk of the second generation. Third generation, I lost interest because the Zords were cars. Like, oh, great. But regardless, that's all in this box. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to press that like button. If you think somebody else will enjoy this, feel free to share this video. If you didn't like this video, go ahead and press the dislike button. I won't mind, but please leave a constructive comment as to why. Also, feel free to comment in general, such as if you'd like to hear some more about this board game. Again, it's not mine, so it will go at their pace for learning it, and painting it will be purely up to them as to whether or not it happens, even though I'd be the one doing it. And speaking of which, I did originally say, but didn't get recorded. The quality of these models isn't great. There's not a lot of mold lines. I didn't see any gaps or anything like that, but they're very simplistic. They're not very detailed. So it wouldn't take long to paint them, but they're still also a larger scale, so there's more surface area, and that still takes time to paint. It just wouldn't take me needing to be all like, okay, I need to do this a little bit and that a little bit, but whatever. If you'd like to see more like this, be it more unboxing videos, my board game overviews, my painting videos, and anything else we might do on this channel, feel free to subscribe. Regardless, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.